Hello, nice to see you. My name is Cynthia Ambriz, and I'm doing a class starting on Monday, August 7th, and it'll take place for 3 Mondays in a row. So it'll be August 7th, August 14th, and August 21st. And I'm offering it in the morning from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., and then again in the afternoon from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. It will be taking place on Zoom, and the recordings will be available and sent out within 24 hours. The class that I'm going to be teaching is based on Dr. Sue Morter's work of the energy codes. And I really like to dive in, dissect, translate, and apply everything that I learn in my everyday life. Because otherwise, what point is there to anything that we're learning unless we can use it to affect, change, and create in our everyday experiences? So, some of the stuff that we'll be looking at um, is I'm going to speak from my own experiences. But for example, like when I get triggered by something or someone and I get stuck holding a grudge, a constant argument in my mind with this individual or because of an experience where that would sometimes play out for a long, long time. The process for me now is to dive into my own body, come into my own body, and ask myself, where do I need to build circuits so that I can process the emotions, the energy that's being stored in my body, and even more importantly, see possibilities that I'm currently just not seeing. And it's only because I don't have the circuits in place yet that I think that something has been done to me, um, or that my way is the only way. Because in reality, there's so many of us here on the planet, and God is experiencing itself through each and every single one of us. And I think that part of God's intention is to have every possible possibility play out through life, through you and me. So who am I to say that how someone else is being is wrong? My only job is to focus here on this individual. A lot of us are interested in creating a change in the world. And the knee jerk reaction is to want to change something out there so that I feel better. So, through these teachings and these practices, I start to come within and locate the version of me that is currently present. So, total self acceptance, which is new, right? It's not something that we're necessarily born with, or we start off that way, but we can't necessarily hold on to it throughout life. And so, throughout some of the meditations, um, if there's a part of me that's unhappy with something, when I go into meditation, I look for the me that is excited to be here, the me that doesn't see a problem, only an opportunity and a solution that's trying to rise up within me. And it's bringing about the awareness of it through my outside experiences. But the more time you and I spend inside in our internal world, the less friction we need on the outside, because that's the only reason why we experience friction on the outside, because it's trying to get us to come in, to constantly be working with ourselves so that we're not at the mercy of the world, because life is always going to be changing. There's always going to be something happening. And if your peace of mind, your happiness, and your joy is dependent on something out there, then what are the chances that you're going to experience joy on a frequent, regular basis. So that's some of some of the ways in which that I apply these teachings help me to be able to remain centered and grounded as the outside world might be doing this. This does not mean that I do not experience difficulties and challenges, but instead of wanting to crawl into a ball and hide in that corner when the challenges arise, because this is a consistent practice, then the tap on the shoulder doesn't have to become a shove by life. And the practice now is, instead of going into fear when things are changing, um, I'll lean in and ask, what is seeking to be cultivated here within me? And where do I need to build the circuits so that I can move through this experience more easily, more gracefully? And notice that everything is pointing me inward. One of the most recent challenges for me lasted about 3 months. I've had an autoimmune condition since 2002. And with medication, I'm able to keep moving because the condition affects my motor nerves. But for 3 months, even though I had the insurance and the finances in place, and I had double coverage, no matter what I did, I could not gain access to the treatment that I get every month. And because it went on for 3 months, I lost mobility during those 3 months. And it was incredibly scary to experience that, right? And this isn't the first time. It's probably like my second or third time that I've had to go through that. But because I have moved through it, and there are certain practices and ways of being that I've become more familiar with and more used to, I kept coming inward. And I was asking, what is looking to be cultivated through this particular set of experiences? One of them was an even closer relationship with spirit, God, the universe, life, love. Call it by whatever name you call it, just so long as you call it. And I would sit down on my meditation chair, very afraid, right? Because I kept losing mobility day after day. It kept increasing in loss. Doctors weren't returning my calls. No matter how many calls I placed, there was no movement. And what I heard was God say, I need you to realize that I am your source in all things. The only way that the medicine, the doctors, the people, the money, the insurance shows up in your life is as a byproduct of your relationship with me. Lean into me. Ask for help from me, from your own higher self. You don't have to do this life by yourself. And as somebody that grew up very self-sufficient, that has not been a part of my vocabulary to ask for assistance. So there was a deep humbling that occurred during this last experience. A humbling, a closeness with spirit, knowing that no matter what happens, I'm still ultimately okay, and more than okay. But it took a little while, right, to not panic and to even allow myself to be in fear and to ask myself, can I love the version of me that is afraid right now? Can I love the version of me that has no idea what to do? Can I love the version of me that is confused? And if I had a spat or a disagreement with somebody, can I love the version of me that is upset? Can I love the version of me that is jealous? The practice is complete and total self-acceptance. And it is in this ability to reach out and bring that part of ourselves here inward, that when we bring our own loving presence to ourselves, then I don't feel the need to prove my point, to have a conversation to show you that I'm right, you're wrong. It allows me to see that there are multifaceted perspectives and experiences taking place. And it's the both and. It's your opinion and my opinion. And if a lot of us are trying to create a new world, it's the only way that that is ever going to happen. I have to accept myself completely so that I can begin to accept other people completely without needing to prove my point, to make you wrong. So that's another way in which these practices and these teachings have helped me. Um, and there's so much more. Let me see. What else is there? Well, anyway, that's the invitation. I want to be able to teach you guys everything that I've learned as an agape minister, as an agape counselor, as an energy codes master trainer and facilitator, as a student of the Course in Miracles, as a student of Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, my sacred travels, how it all comes together, the chakra system, how we're affected when we travel to sacred places, familiarizing yourself with your own higher self, what it means to be embodied and how embodiment is a requirement to reach higher levels of consciousness, how we have to come into the body and how to do that. So there's no point in me learning all of this if I can't share it. So if you're interested, the class is $189, but there are payment plans available, and you can take as long as you need to take to pay that. So send me a message, an email. Please don't wait until Monday morning, as I will be busy already. So just reach out, send me a message. I'll send you the workbook, the link for the Zoom, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Blessings.